There we are. Well, I'm going to set up my desktop here. Whoops, let me move that. Mute. There we go. Yeah, I can't set it up ahead of time. So some people say, why didn't you just start? This is why. This is YouTube. Set up the shout out in the hype horn. There we go. Yeah, I'm sitting at my desk right now, so I have to lean around the new tripod to set up the goal. Okay, I'm set up 5 people. Kathy Mallory, you're number 1. Welcome in, my dear. Jay, hiya. Yeah, I just got back. I had to go to the follow-up for the kidney surgery, and then I drove to Studio City, not very far, everything's close, to pick up some of the YouTube mail. Yay! Cali Girl on Fire, good to see you too. Real close. The usuals, thank you so much. This will be a short one today. I haven't had time to prepare a speech, but I've got it all right here because of something I saw last night on YouTube about Miss Nancy. What a crazy night. I was up till almost 3 a.m. uh, watching what I'm going to tell you about. 2 thumbs up already. Wow, I haven't even started yet. Only 2 minutes into it. Thank you for the red hearts. Thanks for being here on a Monday. I don't know if I'll have a very big crowd on a Monday, but I can talk to you guys for like a few because I think this is really important. I won't come on the air if there's nothing new to report or there's not something important to report. And I want to keep this case relevant. And kudos to all the other YouTubers, especially the boots on the ground that are out in Tucson right now. Hey, 14 people in here. I'm April Davis, PI. I'm a California licensed private investigator. It's Monday, May the 18th, 2026. And I hate to say it, but today is day number 107 in the missing Nancy Guthrie case. Yeah, day number 107. I just can't even believe we're still here. You know, I stayed up last night because several of you in yesterday's live stream that I did mentioned that there was going to be a recreation of the crime out in front of Nancy's house last night. I didn't see it right away, but when I did finally tune into one of the YouTubers, there was some lady out there named Juanita. I'm not sure who she is, and she was getting cited by the Pima County sheriffs for parking in that no parking zone that they've made in Nancy's neighborhood. And she argued it for about a half an hour and ended up getting a 200 and some dollar ticket or something. And the rest of the YouTubers are out there kind of laughing at her, and it was quite hysterical. They had 6 cop cars out there for a parking violation. While at the same time, apparently there was a party down the street within the Catalina foothills on a Sunday night. So it was a wild night out there, but I ended up getting really into this. And by the end of the show, there was only 2 YouTubers left. And it reminded me of my old PI days, being out in like places like Malibu Canyon or Topanga Canyon or at the point of the bottom of the point at Palos Verdes Estates in the middle of the night where there's just nothing and you can't even see the ocean in front of you, even though it's like a few yards in front of you because it's just black. That's what this was like. Uh, Jesse Jewell, welcome in. I don't understand what you're saying. Cal, Nikki. Okay. Don't understand, but here we are. Remember, keep it clean, everybody. No politics, no religion, and no bullying in the chat. To either, I don't care about me, but to each other. So here we go. I watched this thing, this recreation last night. I don't know how many of you here saw it. It went on to like 2:30 in the morning my time. It actually went on a little longer because every time a commercial would play through the lives, my live would get further and further behind. So I was several minutes behind the chat, and I saw this recreation, and I noticed that there were no lights on in Nancy's house or in front of her house, like not even on her front porch. And I know that the night of the crime, that it was a full moon and that someone took out her lighting in the back. But I have to wonder, like, when she lived in that house and she lived in that enormous house by herself in this neighborhood that is as dark as can be. Remember, we have a friend here in the channel now who lives in her neighborhood, who knows Savannah, and she was telling me how dark that neighborhood, and you can't see, a few feet in front of you on a regular night. Um, she wasn't kidding. She talked about that neighborhood being very large and all the streets being like a maze, and you have to know where you're going. So even though it wasn't full moon, so it wasn't exactly like it was on the night that this happened, it was pretty darn close. And the thing I noticed right away is no lights on in the house. Now, apparently nobody's living there. Someone said here that there was a woman security guard living there. I didn't see any signs of that. Um, I saw nothing, blackness. And I saw like how you can't even really see the house from the street. So when the cops and the FBI were asking everybody for video footage, um, I could see why Ring doorbells and Nest doorbells wouldn't pick anything up. Now here's my point, and I didn't even have to write like notes for this. Here's my point: if that house is that dark, but you add just a little bit of lighting for the moonlight. But remember, the guy was there before. Front porch guy was there before approximately January 11th when it wasn't full moon. How would that person know where all the cameras were? They would obviously know where the back spotlight was because if it was on, you'd be able to see it and smash it. But that house is pretty tall for a one story. Those cameras are mounted apparently on the side of the house, the back of the house. There was one on the roof that they missed. Um, Kathy said she watched it very interesting. Jay said, what channel? I saw it on JLR Investigates. There was also somebody out there named Ted Investigates. Wasn't that impressed with him. The Juice was there when I first started watching, but I think he was one of the many that left. There was someone named Alex that left right when I got into it. Hi, Eli Garcia. Uh, but it went on for like 6 or 7 hours. So I'm not sure what time I started watching it. Probably when I crawled into bed after 10. Um, I know I was watching it for a good 3 or 4 hours, and I just kept noticing the darkness that our new friend, a simple kind of gal, explained to me how this neighborhood is laid out and how dark it is. And I went back in my mind to surveillances that went in the middle of the night in Malibu Canyon, uh, Topanga Canyon. And that's just scary. If you research all the things that are running around in Topanga Canyon, things that are supposedly coming out of the ocean, and now that may actually be true if you were here for Disclosure Day on May 8th. And then to be at the very point of Palos Verdes Estates, up on one of those cliffs over the ocean, and you can't even see it. Like, somebody comes running by the car in the wee hours or an animal, like you can't see it until they're inches in front of you. So my question is about this house. Did she have any front lighting on when this happened? Because I know the house apparently is empty now, but there has to be electricity running to run the pool pump, uh, new security equipment, new cameras have been installed at this house since this happened. They've had a lot of electricians there. I'm sure alarm companies have been there. Kathy says off to auction. No problem, Kathy. Cali Girl on Fire said I watched it through 7 streamers. Um, I would think the house still has electricity. I wonder why there's no exterior lighting at that house. Was there exterior lighting on both nights that we know for a fact that front porch guy was there? I guess what I'm trying to tell you guys, let me just get to the point. whoever did this was not some random Yahoo guy. This is somebody who either he himself is directly familiar with that property, or those guys, because I think there's more than one, they're working directly. Hey, Kathy, thank you so much. Thank you for your support, Kathy. I really appreciate you. And are you going over to a whatnot auction? I had one last night and it was too late and it failed. But the one I had 3 days before, I sold 17 items. So if you guys are not watching whatnot, go get my link. Go to my link in my channel description, sign up. And if you're not already signed up, they'll give you $15 to spend. Just a little pitch here. So I want to know what lights were on the night that this happened. I want to know, how would the abductors, kidnappers, unalivers, whatever you want to call them, how would they have been able to see to even get around to the back door? Because they obviously didn't come through the front, because that front security screen was not messed with. Okay, someone came in through the back and I think opened the door for the guy in the front. We also, apparently now there's a car. There's like a getaway car that's either in the driveway or in front of the house that is this elusive Dodge. Remember, we've talked about this before. But this is not a random crime. This lady in this house was specifically targeted. There's no way. I mean, even if you had to run out the back because an alarm went off or somebody was coming, like the police or the family, you wouldn't even be able to get over that fence and get into that utility easement where all the cacti is and the rattlesnakes and the mountain lions. And, you know, it is pitch black. You wouldn't be able to make a quick exit out of that place unless you came out the front door and you walked right to the driveway where the car is literally a few feet away from the door. How would you even reach up to the side of the house or the back of the house and smash the cameras? Those cameras they got some thumbnails from them, even though they were smashed. How would the person who did this, or the people who did this, know what type of security system she had, what type of camera she had, where they were placed? Did she have an alarm? Did she have a medical alert that she could just, wear around her neck or as a bracelet and she could push a button if she got in trouble? Whoever did this was very comfortable on this property. They were very comfortable in the house for at least 41 minutes. They had to have had direct knowledge of that it was an older woman that was living in this 4,000 plus square foot home by herself. This is not just some random robber, burglar, someone who stumbled onto the wrong house. No, absolutely not. This has been very well planned. Somebody knew everything. How would you know if you were a robber or a burglar what kind of cameras there were, what kind of alarm system? These are rich people that live in this neighborhood. These are wealthy homeowners. These homes would go for like $1 million or more. Like, most people like that have security systems and they have alarmed responses and they have motion detector sensors, lights, cameras. Some have infrared perimeters, inner, middle, and outer. I know I sound like a Secret Service agent here, but that's how it works. Um, Many of the celebrity clients have those same infrared inner, middle, and outer systems. How would they know that this lady had just a little Nest doorbell camera that wasn't even connected to a subscription? Whoever did this knows somebody. Either it's they know themselves, or they're working for someone who has direct knowledge of who lived there, that she was alone, where the cameras were located, what was at the front door, where the back door entrances were. The fact that maybe there was no security system or alarms or alerts in the house, that her family, you would think they would be watching her, that they would get an alert if somebody compromised her house at that time of the night. Somebody had very intimate, and I'm going to use the word intimate, knowledge of everything on that property. Uh, Let me just go back. Let's see. How hard that the way they hacked into that camera, which she didn't have service, is a service that all the cameras provide involuntarily unless you opt out. Why can't they just put this together? Well, Google did. That's how they got the images of the front porch guy. And that was amazing because they don't even have the camera. And they were and she didn't have a subscription, and they were still able to get um, those images, which is a miracle. And they were also able to get thumbnails from the broken cameras on the side of the house and the back of the house. Who have I missed here? I saw Eli. Oh, Hemi. Nice to see you. Glad to catch you on a live. Thank you for coming. Where are you coming in from? Hey, Will Byers, my friend. Hello, VMS. Welcome back. Jessie Jules says, I think it was her own family. That's probably the gardener. Someone had to have very intimate knowledge of everything: the property, the doors, the entrances, the exits, the garage, the cameras. They would have had to bring some type of equipment to reach up there. Do you think these guys are 10 feet tall aliens where they're able to reach up to the eaves of the house? No. This was all prepared. Remember, front porch guy had a backpack full of stuff. You know, what was in that backpack? That was some type of tools for something. God forbid it was, duct tape, and I don't even want to go to like rope, or I don't even want to go there in my mind. But they did this recreation last night. And remember, they had like expensive mobile phones that had lamps on them. They had flashlights, and you could not see when they turned them off. Like, they were standing next to each other and they couldn't see each other. And I know what that's like because of my PI career. And I live in a city like Los Angeles where it doesn't go dark unless we have a catastrophic, large, um, high magnitude earthquake, and the whole grid goes down. Like the city goes down in Close Encounters, and the grid just goes click, 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 goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And it's just blackness and stars. But there's cloudy nights. Sometimes there are no stars that are shining through. Full moon happens once a month. Now, they did pick one of the best days of the year, I have to say, as far as full moon for the lighting. That kind of went in their favor, but also went against them because it was able to pick up front porch guy and the little bit of an image of a person or a vehicle in the background behind front porch guy. But whoever did this, and I'm totally convinced, whoever did this has intimate knowledge of the house, the property, the cameras, the lack of alarm system, the lack of a armed private patrol or security company. Uh, there wasn't anything, I think, on the wall where she could have pushed a button, or she could have wore something around her neck, or had some little device like a remote control on her bedstand where she could have just bang and pushed a button, and you know it alerts the alarm company, it alerts Tommaso and Annie. Someone knew that this house was not properly prepared. And I've been watching this going, oh, this would be so cool to live there, and this would be so cool to like live in that casita and watch the wildlife. You wouldn't even see the wildlife. That was you could step on a rattlesnake because you couldn't see. You'd have to be walking with a flashlight down on the ground the whole time. There's no way anybody's going to get out of the back and make a quick exit out of that place. I mean, it's just too rugged. And the cactus, some of them are like low to the ground. They're not just the saguaro tall cactuses or cacti. They're like small, and they've got thorns on them like this big. Like, it would be a mess to get in and out of there. Somebody had the balls to go up there. Yes, the balls to go up there in pitch blackness. Okay. That camera kind of showed things because the guy had the bite light in his mouth, but it was just a little bite light. It wasn't like a military style flashlight. Somebody who did this had intimate knowledge. And it kind of makes me understand now why the police are kind of focused on some of the people they allegedly are focused on as at least being the ringleaders of this. Who have I missed? Let me see. I'm sorry, I just had to get that out. Um, it's like a maze to get there. Yes, that's what our new friend of the channel, a simple kind of gal, told me. It's like a maze. Um, Sandra Bogers, welcome in. Uh, I hope. Hey, hi, April. Hope you're well. According to the doctor I saw today, he says I'm not um, sick enough to be fixed. So it was a surgery follow up. But I do have to start having a series of x rays in another 90 days so they can still watch some of the slivers of kidney stones that are still there, even though I had them removed. Oh, it never ends. Maria Maldonado, I think it was a joke for them to be out there because they weren't even respecting Nancy's memorial. That wasn't nice when they were doing laughing and eating pizza from women that sent it to them. Yeah, and apparently, I didn't see this part, but somebody sent them some cookies, and those cookies might have been actually tainted with something because when I started watching JLR, who I don't watch often, he seemed a little off, and I was like, what's going on? And then the other guy, Ted, he just started shaking violently. And it was getting pretty cold out there, but he was shaking violently, and then they started to suspect that someone had tainted the food, and they were getting like DoorDash stuff. They were getting blankets and battery chargers, but I'd have to say towards the end it was pretty ballsy for them to be out there because there was nothing. And towards the end of the show, and I saw it with my own eyes. I think I saw it before they saw it. I kept seeing like a flashing light over near her property, and then people in the chat were telling them like there's a light, there's a light. And they're there with their phones and they're exhausted and they're trying to see through all that shrubbage and cactus and they're all of a sudden one of them says there's a light on. There's a light on inside of that house and that light was moving. Now, at first I was thinking because there's new, security measures there, that there was some kind of a camera that was in a window, but it still didn't explain like this moving light. And then, the guys that were there, the two guys that were left, they were waiting for a ride that wasn't coming until 2:30, and they were creeped out. I think I'm missing some of the messages on my phone. Let me reset that. Uh, Wouldn't it be an awesome, crazy twist of if the daughter did it? Which daughter are you referring to? Are you talking about Annie Smooko 63? Um, let's see. There we go. Thanks for letting me know. Thank you so much for letting me know. Hey, Brian. MJ Cookies, maybe. Thank you, Kathy. I just saw the messages. Uh, that's weird about the light. I actually, at first, I just thought this was silly, and I was worried that, they were going to disrespect the neighbors. Um, but, they were on a public street as long as they kept it quiet. But, it at times it was crazy because it brought all the police out, and then the lady got in an argument with the cops about the parking, and, she ended up with a 200 plus, it was close to $300 ticket, which she actually had coming. Um, Jesse says, is it possible that how I think there's a group of man running everything that could possibly be a group of women that actually even controlled Epstein? I heard this woman was the brain that. Okay, I don't know what you're saying, Jesse. The news lady. Oh, you mean Savannah? No, absolutely not. You're on the wrong channel, Smuko. Absolutely not. Savannah's as nice as they come. Hey, Jane Rice. I know, Kathy, that would like, oh my God, especially me, I have a heart problem. That would just like, see, if somebody, There was somebody here before, I don't remember who it was, saying they were gonna send me cookies, and I didn't wanna say anything online, but, if somebody wants to send me a snack, send it through Amazon 'cause, I know through my PI work not to eat anything that's served, um, by anybody that's like, "Oh, let me feed you, stay," there's a lot of, like, elderly people that, "Oh, I'm gonna bring you to lunch, and we're gonna take you to a like, I don't want food from anybody unless I know where it came from. "Oh, let me fix you a cup of tea or coffee." "Oh, no, no, I'm good. No, no, I'm good." Like, um, if somebody hands me a bottle of water, it better have a seal on it. I know better than to take food or candy or drinks from strangers. Um, yeah, and I thought something seemed a little off with those guys, but I don't watch them regularly, but I'm like, I was like, "Uh-oh, I think they've been poisoned or something." Cali Girl on Fire says it was Juanita who got the ticket, a disabled lady with a handicap placard. Oh, okay. Yeah, but she was still in a no parking zone. A no parking zone is a no parking zone, even if you're handicapped. Is she a YouTuber or is she just somebody that lives in Tucson? I didn't know who she was. Um, and then I did see in the background, I think the Juice was there because I saw him, but then he wasn't there anymore. I guess a lot of people had already left by the time I started watching. Well, we've already said the rules today. No politics. So there you go. Uh, yeah, please, Kathy, don't say goodbye or I mean goodbye. I'm sorry. It's been a long day, Kathy. Don't say hello. We talked about this yesterday. If somebody's doing something inappropriate, just bring it to my attention if I didn't see it, and I'll take them out. I don't want to encourage people to come in and like we're being nice to those people when they're not following the rules. They're not here for Nancy. If they're not here for Nancy, I don't want them in here. VMS. Juice is actually the only one who seemed completely normal last night. Now I think of it, he didn't have any cookies. Yeah, I heard them ask him. That they asked him if he wanted some, and he didn't take them, and he felt fine. So, but I only watched it, here and there. By the time I got into it, it was narrowing down. It was after that whole. It was during the time that the police came out. They needed, 6 police cars and 6 deputies to, give a handicapped woman a ticket. Um, oh, she's a friend of Alex. I heard them mention someone named Alex, but he had left, but I didn't know who that was. Um, yeah, the Juice, he's nice. I went into his show the other night and sent him a little super chat in some of my remaining jewels, which now I don't have anymore, jewels. Um, sorry you didn't see the comment. No problem, Kathy. I know you're one of the best supporters here. Um, were they younger people that got poisoned? I don't know who they got the cookies from, but it was JLR and some guy named Ted Investigates. Um, so what's her kids been up to? Have you been following them? Well, I'm not surveilling them, but Annie and Tommaso are in hiding, and Cameron and Savannah are back at work. Oh, I didn't see that, Brian. I never worked with Mark, but I did work with a lot of the detectives that were at LAPD West LA that covered that. I actually worked in Brentwood, and I worked one street over from OJ's house, and our mailbox that I helped that company set up at the time was across the street from the Mezzaluna where Ron Goldman worked. And just days before Nicole was unalived, I saw her multiple times driving around in a Ferrari that OJ owned that said late for a date on a license plate. Um, yeah, like that happened. That hit very close to home, that case, as did the Robert Blake situation happen in my neighborhood. The William Shatner wife drowning in the pool, well, the alleged drowning in the pool happened in my neighborhood. And I worked in Brentwood when that whole OJ thing happened, and I had not heard that today. Yeah. And he was quite racist, quite controversial. And that didn't help the prosecutors when you get a racist cop. up on the stand. So I didn't know that. What did he pass away of, Brian? Um, VMIS. Oh, I couldn't believe they needed all those officers for that. Kind of ridiculous. Yeah, the police coming by all the time. That was more of a ruckus than just the YouTubers out there. Um, didn't learn not to accept food from strangers. Yeah, I worked a case once involving the Russian mafia, and they were like, you remember that doctor that got poisoned and they had to, she was from LA, and I had to meet with her one time, and everybody's like, don't drink anything on this case. Like, oh my God, you know, the KGB like tried to take her out and like she was given the clear or something. So I just know don't eat or drink anything. Jesse Jewell, I got a question. I heard there was a shooting in San Diego today. I heard that too just before I went into the doctor's office. What do you know about it? I don't know the story yet, but I heard it was like a mass shooting. They won't release the mugshots of the shooter. Yeah. Um, oh, he had throat cancer? Are you talking about Mark Furman, Bobby? Well, that's not a good way to go. Oh, see, I've been in, the doctor was still at the hospital when I got there, and the appointment took longer than I thought. 3 killed and 2 teens DEAD. Oh, that's too bad. You know what? Something happened in San Diego when I was 19. It was the summer that I had a major throat surgery. I had an adult tonsillectomy, and my mom and I had to go to the follow-up. She had come into town to help take care of me. It was a very major, major surgery. And when we went to go to the follow-up, they were like, oh, the doctor's hung up at the hospital, and you're going to have to, go home and come back in a couple hours because it's going to be several hours. And my mom was like, well, let's not go home. Let's just, go get a bite to eat. And I still couldn't eat anything, but I sat in a McDonald's with her and we talked about, we haven't been inside of McDonald's in years since they started the drive-throughs when I was a kid. Like, wow, we're actually sitting in a McDonald's. And I couldn't really speak much because I still, it was a major, major surgery, the most painful thing I've ever been through in my life. And while we were sitting in that McDonald's talking about like, wow, we haven't been in a McDonald's in years. And we were just sitting there because we were waiting for the doctor to come back from the hospital. There was a shooting in San Diego at a McDonald's, and like dozens of people, including children, were all unalived. And they eventually ended up tearing down that McDonald's, and now it's like been turned into a memorial, and I think it's like parkland now. I remember that a lot. So I don't know what happened today. San Diego is a very safe city. Hemi says so much unnecessary violence. Yes. Um, if I leave, my computer has been shut off from electrical outages. Oh, wow. Bad weather in Missouri right now. Uh, yeah, that's like in the movies, Jay, when they're like, have ice cream. That's what Cindy Brady had on the Brady Bunch. She's going to eat ice cream. You can't even brush your teeth after a tonsillectomy. You can't move your lips to get because everything is swollen like a balloon. Like, no, that's in the movies. Now today they have a totally different way. They had lasers, but mine was scalpels and inverted, infected, high risk surgery tonsillectomy that I needed at age 4, and I suffered for 15 years. It's one of those traumas I don't like to talk about, but somebody mentioned the shooting in San Diego, and I remember like being in a McDonald's in Southern California, of all places, and 130 miles away. All those people got taken out at the exact moment that we were in a McDonald's from a McDonald's. You had it done 3 times already. What, throat surgery? Um, it's been several shootings today, actually, which is strange. Um, no, we weren't talking about the Reiners. We were talking about somebody mentioned that Mark Furman from the OJ trial passed away today, but we're talking about Nancy Guthrie. My ceiling is leaking from so much rain. Had to move my seating area on the couch. Oh no, that's bad. You had to have yours removed at 19? That's how old I was. I needed them removed at 4, but didn't get it done until 19. And I've had a lot of medical issues since because I think I lived my whole childhood on, antibiotics and strong prescription cough syrup. Um, how far am I from the Osborne house? Which one? There are several. And they just sold their house in Hancock Park, by the way, since Ozzy died. Oh, no, the electric went down 3 times. I was like, "Oh, okay." Cosmo, hello. Um, yeah, that's not good, Jay, because you don't want a mold issue. Aren't they silent about the Nancy Guthrie case? Yes, they are, but probably for good reason. And I'm just telling you, after I saw this live last night, oh, it's telling me to start something. Let's just go, go, go. There we go. Is it working now? Okay. Oh, almost lost you there. Hold on. There we go. Um, I am glad that I watched what I watched last night, even though I didn't get much sleep because of it. Because I'm really, I don't sleep well anyway before a doctor's appointment for some reason. That's the way my head works. But there's no way that a random burglar, robber, which I've said from the very start, was involved in this. This is not just somebody who said, hey, let's target her because she is Savannah Guthrie's mom and we can get some money. Hey, Jesse, thank you for the sparkles. This is somebody closely connected to Nancy. Someone who is extremely familiar with not only the outside of that house and the cameras and the doors and the property, but someone who is familiar what she did or didn't have on the inside of the house as far as security, alarm systems, panic buttons, medical alert buttons. Um, I just don't understand when I saw how dark that neighborhood was and that she was an 84-year-old woman in that big giant house by herself. And I could see why somebody wouldn't even think she would be at risk because how would you even get through that maze in the middle of the night? You know, this took a lot of balls by somebody who either knows her or is employed by somebody who knows her because there's no way they would have been comfortable being in that house knowing that they could not make a quick escape because of just the landscape around that place. This is not a place where you could just go, oh, here comes the cops, run. Like, no. Um, this was a very high risk, this operation. And I'm glad that I saw what I saw last night. I was freaked out when, towards the end of it, when he was saying, okay, this is right when this would have happened, that they were taking Nancy. And then these lights started flickering. And it was just like, oh my god, and I could hear the fear in their voices at that time, like, "What time is it?" Because they knew their ride was coming to get them out of there at 2:30. Like, it was scary. I mean, I was up after that checking the locks, you know am I hearing anything? Like, I couldn't go to sleep for a while, I was thinking about it. Um, Kathy says the family did it or set it up. Are you talking about Survivor? No. Uh, it was totally creepy, V-Miss. Um, how can the rich people tell people to be silent when a kidnapping isn't that type of a case? I don't think this is a kidnapping. Jesse Jules says, yes, it's an inside job. V-Miss, this is very important, V-Miss. You probably said it better than I've just said it. Yes, you are so right because these guys showed how dark it is. Exactly. Um, After seeing all of the last night at Nancy's, does your suspect still fit in as front porch guy? Absolutely. And does that confirm there was more than porch guy? There was definitely more than porch guy. I'm, I don't know all the details of the case because I'm just, watching this like the rest of you. But they've got to go apprehend front porch guy. FBI, listen to what I'm saying here. And if I'm wrong, then we eliminate him and his connections. These people know somebody connected to Nancy. These were hired people. It's not a lone wolf, not one or two guys that are like, let's go hit up some old lady and get some easy money. Nobody would take a risk not knowing how many people lived there or didn't live there, what she had or she didn't have, alarms, private patrol, security, panic buttons, medical alert buttons. Did she have motion detectors, motion sensors, infrared perimeters? Somebody would have to have known all of that. I'm just telling you. There's no way you're going to take that kind of a risk. Hemi says, I agree. Family did it or set it up, says Kathy Mowery. Sorry, I missed what you saw last night. I'm sure it's still out there if you go to any of those YouTubers on the ground. Jesse said, I had a tarot card reader tell me the other day I needed to get my affairs in order before my unaliving. We can't talk about that here, Jesse. I'm sorry. Kathy Mowery says, no, they wanted her unalive. VMIS. No, someone wanted her silenced for some reason, or they wanted to show Savannah they mean business. Something weird like that. Yeah, there is still the Savannah factor in this. Remember, that was the first thing that came to my mind on Sunday night, February 1st. Like, oh no, the 84-year-old mother of Savannah Guthrie. And at that time, I knew a lot about Savannah, but I didn't know anything about Nancy Guthrie. What show was that? I missed it. That was when I was in Whatnot. I didn't know you did Whatnot, Kathy. You should come over and check out my shows sometimes. Hey, thank you for the star. Mostly dolls, helicopters. Um, yeah. This, I just had to share with you guys. Wow, there's 48 people here, 22 thumbs up. The doctor today reminded me to keep hydrating. Oh, you won 2 gibbies. Congratulations. Yeah, I've won a lot of gibbies on Whatnot. In fact, my most recent one was an Amazon gift card. Hey, Matt Tupper. Oh, and speaking of Amazon, wow, 50 people, 27 thumbs up. I just need to take care of some administrative work here. I don't see her in the chat today, but if you're watching on the replay, Sassy Granny, thank you. This is going to replace the AirTag on my keychain so that I don't lose my keys. And for all of you people that are making fun of my dental work, thank you, Sassy. Now look at this. Someone sent me an Aquasonic toothbrush that also came from Sassy Granny. I know it's hard to see with the green screen turned on, and I'm sure you're not going to be surprised at this. Oh gosh, I'm still getting mail for April Davis Platt. Once again, everybody, April Davis or April Davis PI or just April, and they'll put it in my box. It looks like it's a late birthday card. So thank you. This is from someone named Kathleen in San Pedro, California. Thank you so much. VMIS, boy, if you haven't seen that, what that is, you need to go to my main channel page, go to my channel description and go scroll down my links and click Whatnot. Whatnot is a live selling platform where they do auctions and sales live online. And if you're not already signed up to it and you use my code, they'll send you $15 for free just to buy your first items. Kathy, good description. Auctions that most items start at $1. Absolutely. And you know, yesterday I was watching one of the, I don't know if they're probably on the air right now, Locker Nuts. Yeah, I've done some business with them in the past. I know them more than they know me. But Jack and I were both in the hospital at the same time when he had his heart surgery and I had mine. And they were sent by Whatnot recently to LA, and they talked about how they were doing these videos for Whatnot University and that they were 6 minutes from the airport to Hollywood to the soundstage. And I was like, oh, they must have come in through Burbank. They had them at a hotel near my house that I've actually stayed in when I was 16. And they were right next door, like literally walking distance from uh, the neighborhood where my house used to be and the neighborhood where my current, business box is. And in the video, they went to the Cinewalk, they went to Porto's, the smokehouse, they went to the Brady Bunch house, and they walked right by a house in their video, if you know who they are, because they're on YouTube and they're on Whatnot. They're a huge channel. And they walked by this house and they're like, oh, that's so pretty. That reminds me of Carmel. And when they showed the house on their video, I almost fell off my sofa because that house actually um, belongs to somebody I know. I've actually been in that house. And I'm like, oh my God, they're at so and so's house. And they don't even realize. Like, they were just like, oh, that's such a pretty house. It reminds us of Carmel. I think Jack said it. And I'm like, well, obviously they're going to the Brady house. Yeah. Uh, my old neighborhood. It's very close to where I live now. In fact, I was just there before I came on the air to go get the mail that was addressed to April Davis Platt. So if you're not watching Whatnot, I don't go on and do that many shows. I did a show like 3 days ago, sold 17 items. I did a show last night and I sold nada. But yeah, Callie Girl says, awesome gifts. Yes. Thank you, Sassy Granny. It's just, I just, and it was my old mod Trish that like suggested I do this, and I never expected anybody to buy anything. And I made sure to put several inexpensive items up there, but the people that are sending me stuff are sending me the expensive items. Like I even got a pair of Puma shoes from the woman I talked about earlier who lives in Miss Nancy's neighborhood, who is a friend of Savannah's. Like, and that was amongst, I think she sent like 6 things or something, like in one shot. Like, oh my God, I would have never expected any of this. Oh, I like those emojis, Matt Tupper. Um, V Miss 5 says, that's very nice. They are still sending you things. Yeah, I know. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Uh, yeah, you should check it out. But if you're going to check it out, V Miss, thank you for the sparkles, mostly dolls helicopters. If anybody here wants to check it out, please don't just go into your app section of your mobile phone because you have to have like the app set up. You need to go through somebody's code, whether you use my buyer code, and then if you ever want to become a seller, use my seller code because they'll pay you, uh, they'll give you free money. And you don't have to use it in my store, like in my marketplace, because they have a marketplace now. So mostly they sell through live auctions, but you can leave your items in the marketplace and people can send offers just like they can on eBay. I don't have a lot of items there, maybe like 25 items, but I did have somebody that was watching my chat once. And during my show, they went and signed up, and I eventually got a $5 spending credit. They got $15 in their spending wallet, and they bought like 4 things from my store. So I do have a few knickknacks here and there. So if you are interested in getting into Whatnot, they're a multi-billion-dollar company. They just moved from Marina Del Rey to San Francisco, but it's kind of like an eBay, but as a starter company. But they're already worth billions. And they've actually taken a lot of business out of eBay, but eBay is still, the giant. And I'm on them too, but I only have got a handful of items left on the eBay. I just don't have time anymore. I'm too busy with YouTube. But yeah, Whatnot's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of free giveaways on Whatnot. I think I've won over 100 times on Whatnot. It's pretty cool. Whoops, I just hit the wrong button. I missed a message that was retracted. Yeah, check it out, VMIS. Just make sure you use the code. Um, Amy, yeah, use my code. Cali Girl on Fire. What do you think of someone from Nest Security or whatever security she had who can watch everything as being a possible suspect? All they got from Nest was the front door porch guy, which was a miracle, and it took only 7 or 8 days to do that. Google did that because Google owns Nest. She had no subscription, and they didn't have the physical camera, and they were able to do that. Just like with the cameras on the side of the house and the back of the house where the glass was broken out, they were able to extract thumbnails, but they didn't show anything. And I can understand why. Because you'd have to be like right there. If that front porch guy didn't have that little bite light, if it wasn't full moon and he had that little bite light, they would have never got that footage. Although they did get it before when he was there on the 11th. So I'm thinking that when she still lived in that house before all this happened, that there must be some sort of lighting around the front porch, or they wouldn't have been able to get that, especially without the full moon. But last night, there was no lighting at that house. And when JLR and Ted made it known that um, oh, this would have been the time that she was taken out of the house, right at that moment, that's when these lights started moving around in the house. But nobody lives there. I mean, there's no way someone was in there in the dark like that, and then all of a sudden these lights. It was, and they weren't like this. Wasn't some kind of a prank by a couple of Yahoo YouTubers. This was like legit. I saw it with my own eyes, and I'm like, there's a light on in that house, and they had been watching it all night. There was no movement, no lights, no cars came and went except for the cops driving down the street. I I I can't even explain it. And by then they were freaked out. Like they were like, "Where's our ride? Like we're out of here." Um, Jesse, but what about everybody else that has some cameras that lives leaving out of that property? You wouldn't have seen anything from the cameras because the houses sit behind the street. They're not up against the street, and it's pitch black. That's why these cameras aren't getting anything. Uh, Hemi says, I wake up every day praying they found Nancy and made arrest. Me too. Uh, VMS, and now JLR and Ted are saying it's haunted. You know, all kinds of stuff crossed my mind because right when they said this is when, and before they said this, and they had their cameras pointed at I saw like a flash of light in the bushes. And I don't know if it was his channel or the other guy's channel. Someone was saying, did you see that light? Did you see that light? Like I was like, oh, they missed it. They missed it because it was so dark. But you can see things on camera that the naked eye can't see. So I'm looking at what's showing up on camera where they're just standing there like in the dark, seeing what their eyeballs. And I'm like, there's a light flashing in front of that house. What is that? It was almost like a firefly, but it wasn't. And I'm like, "What is that little light?" And then when he said, "Oh, this would just be the time that she was abducted," and those lights came on, but they were just like little orbs or something. It was just like, "Oh my effing God." Like, I mean, literally, I was getting the chills and the hair was standing up on my body. I'm like, "Who's walking around in that house? What's going on?" And then at the same time, some house that was up on a hill, like kind of behind and down the street, their lights came on, and it was just like, okay, I've had enough. Like, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. Like, this is scary. And I started thinking about all those cases I've ever done, like out in Malibu Canyon and Topanga Canyon, where creatures are known to run around in the forest. Like, oh my God. And then down when I was at Rancho Palos Verdes Estates, and it was the darkest I've ever seen in my life. And I could hear a jogger coming. I could hear it. It was somebody jogging, and I could just hear that coming towards me. I was like, oh my God. And every now and then I would hear a motor and I would see a little light down below, and it was like a fishing trawler like trolling for lobsters or something or fish. Like, oh my God. Like, this is so scary. Like, and you could tell, like, his whole persona changed, like JLR. Because I do think that whoever had delivered those cookies, and that was before I was watching, I do think that they were delivered something from someone that was tainted and they probably shouldn't have eaten it. Um, Something was obviously wrong there. Um, yeah, like, don't take cookies from strangers, people. It was creepy. Jesse Jewel, and there's a lamp that keeps showing up behind you, like I see that lamp when you get a chance. Oh yeah, that that's just the green screen. Oops, my camera's sliding down. Hold on. There we go. C. Kushner, hello. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Sosa. Here. Oh, gosh. It's coming. Do I even wait, Sosa, to see what's going to happen? I remember you, Sosa. Yes, I do. Should I take the first strike? I think I will. There we go. Yeah. Sosa. Mm-mm. No, we're not going to go there today. Uh, I won't even say it. Uh, okay. Back to what we were talking about. Yeah, that house, there's no way in HELL that this was a stranger, that this was someone who doesn't know either Nancy or someone intimately connected to Nancy. There's no way. Um, yeah, there's no way that this has happened. Um, no way. Oh, I forgot to take off my notices, and now I'm getting notices from the pharmacy. I don't want to see you, pharmacy. uh, Somebody had intimate knowledge of everything on the outside of that house, where every camera was placed, where every door was, where every gate was, where every exit was, where every potted plant was set up. Somebody knew this house intimately, inside and out. There's no way someone would take a risk in that size of house that's worth that kind of money unless they knew that there was a single elderly woman in there and she was specifically targeted for a specific reason, whether it's either number one, the Savannah factor, because remember, I'm a Hollywood PI and people target celebrities and their family members, or it was somebody closer, like family, friends, neighbors, workers, that somehow either wanted money through a very suspicious, I call it a sus, set of ransom letters, or they wanted money through some other means. Uh, Whoever did this, whoever's involved, may you all rot in prison for the rest of your miserable lives. Um, uh, Gashtrone, haven't seen you before. Welcome in. I think I know who took her. It was the son-in-law. It's always the last one to see the person alive. 92% of the time, that's correct. But we do have to add the Savannah celebrity factor into this. Jesse, I think it was the children and their spouses sat around a campfire. I said, I think we can do it. Well, we don't know. Remember, everybody here on my channel is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Amy, I find it odd Derek Colella is thought to be a hoaxer, but his text said, did you get the Bitcoin? We are waiting on our end to complete the transaction, actually. Such as tea is tough. DC and others are music. You have to see my suspect video, Hemi. Go to the video tab after this video. Watch it for 24 minutes. We've talked about all the characters and actors in this soap opera a lot. Um, them children weren't going to give up their inheritance is a ransom. I say, did you get the Bitcoin if it's a hoax? Yeah, how did they get their personal cell numbers and call one of them? Hi, Barbara, just stopping by. Welcome in. Um, yeah. If I wasn't already convinced before of what I have thought since the second week of this case, it's just everything that I saw last night just confirms even more what I have always believed about this. And that's all I'm going to say. Suzanne, hello from New York. Well, hello, Suzanne. We'll add you to the list of Susans, Suzannes, and Sues that we have. Uh, do they believe some of the ransom calls are real? Well, the only call they had was from the Derek Kalala. The FBI believes the first two ransom notes were real, but it just convinces me that it was somebody who knew something about the scene of the crime. Hey, Kathy Mallory, coming through again. This is becoming the Kathy Mallory show, I have to tell you. Thank you so much. Uh, as a professional, what do you think? As a professional who knows the law and has been in the legal field for 42 years, I can't say online what I think publicly. We'll talk about it more when people are arrested, and we'll talk about it more when people are arrested. And if you did this and you're watching, you're absolutely not going to get away with this. I know it seems like you are, but this case has more attention than any other case in the United States right now. They're going to get you. So if you're front porch guy, are you assisted in this in any way? Turn yourself in now and roll over on everybody that's involved, because I know you can prove it, and then you probably won't get the death penalty, man. Everybody, if you have a tip on this, call 1-800-CALL FBI. If you don't know where the body is, they won't take you seriously, but you never know. You might get the right person online. Call the Pima County Sheriff's Department or call Crime Stoppers. I meant to say allegedly. Watch my suspect video, Miss 5. Kathy Mallory says, "You're quite welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us day after day." Thank you. I assume you haven't lost your power yet again, Kathy. Barbara says, "Yes, please give us some hints, April." There have been a lot of hints. You should go to the Nancy Guthrie suspect list or the true crime suspect list and just hit play all. Miss 5. Also, if there's more than one, which I think there is, I'm surprised they haven't turned on each other yet. True, but there's a reason for that I can't explain right now. Amy says your video was on point. Well, I hope they're all on point. And if I make a mistake, I'll be the first to raise my hand and tell you guys. Always check out the pinned comments in these videos in case I have to correct something. No, it's just rumbling right now. 70-some degrees in LA and sunny right now. Although there are several brush fires right now. Not immediate like in my area, but we've had some major brush fires, and I think Simi Valley has lost some homes today. Okay, suspect video. Yeah, just go to my video tab. It's not in the live tab, it's in the video tab. But you guys can say whatever you want. You know, we're all here to talk about it. Pretend you were a detective on a movie with the same plot. Well, I don't have to pretend to be a detective because I am a real detective. What would the detective that you're playing think of this case? I would handle it like I've handled all my cases, whether it's a missing person, a homicide, or a kidnapping. I would start conducting interviews. And then I'd have my list of suspects and start following the trail. It's 95 in Virginia. Holy smokes. That's too hot. 95. It's only May 18th. We're still having our May grays out here, which I love, especially when I was an active detective. The May gray, June gloom, it's wonderful where you have to dress in the layers and, slowly remove the layers as the day goes by. Probably quite chilly still at the beach. 48 people watching, only 33 thumbs up. Come on, let's get those thumbs up and hit those red hearts. Jay says 68 in Indiana. Is the rain still coming through your roof, Jay? That's a pain. Kathy, I saw an absolutely whack Nancy's body was found buried in Annie's garden. I shut it down immediately. Yeah. Don't unless that's really true. Like that's yeah. Don't even go there. Who would the detective in the movie think committed the crime? Not gonna answer that question, Gastro. Bobby, do you believe the genealogical DNA testing should help solve this case after a year? Slim chance. Just because they don't have access to the major ones, as far as I know, like 23andMe and Ancestry.com, it's some of the smaller ones. And one of the people that's involved, I know is not in CODIS. And has family elsewhere. I think it's a long, long shot. And that hair could belong to anybody. Hey, Sassy, you missed me showing off your stuff. You'll have to rewatch. Everybody, say thank you to Sassy Granny 8. She's been a very big supporter of this channel. Yeah, I have to think about my own welfare here. Not going to do something and get myself sued. Not going to do something stupid. Sassy Granny, you're wonderful. And it's not the first time she sent me something. You know, when I got that bottle of Tide, it wasn't like one of those little small ones. It was like a big, giant, heavy one. Like I have to pour it into a smaller bottle to carry it. And I was just like, and it's my favorite. Like that's the best soap they make is the Tide in the orange bottles. Thank you so much, Sassy Granny. Your support means so much. You wanted to get here sooner. No problem. You can always watch on the replay. Hey, Brian Ray. Welcome in. Got a couple Brians in here today. I haven't seen our Kellys or Karens lately. What's going on? Oh, you use Gain? Yeah, that's good too, Kathy. Good, and you will smell good too. Yes, I like it, especially for my bedding. That was very kind of Sassy Granny, and not necessarily or necessary, but thank you so much. Aloha from Kona. What's the topic today? Hey, Devin Davis. Are we related, Devin? We are talking about day number 107 of the missing Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mom of Today co-host Savannah Guthrie. What do you think the chances that Nancy's returned alive? 0. I'm sorry, but 0. More Bryans are the better of the party. Yeah, 0. She didn't last long at all. You love the island fresh scent. Well, Hawaii. I haven't had anybody in Hawaii in here, I don't think, or at least nobody that said they were from Hawaii. That's cool. What if she's in witness protection? Absolutely not. Amy says, blowing on embers, standing in scorched earth. Annie, how effed up is that? I mean, I know you're telling the truth because I heard about it too, Hemi, and that is effed up. Blowing embers, standing in scorched earth. Your mother is missing, and you're coming out of your house with your hoodie over your head and your hands and your fingers in front of your face, you know, acting deceitful, deceptive, and shameful. And now you're in hiding. Maybe they're getting death threats. Probably are. They probably are getting death threats. That's terrible, but that's probably why. I use all free of types. I use all free of types or tithe, dyes, and perfumes. Okay, now I can read it. There we go. Had to take somebody out. My Davis family came from Tennessee. How about yours? Mine came from Illinois. It means standing in devastation. Well, Savannah was saying we are blowing embers at the Airbnb. She said it on her video. Didn't see that. Brian Ray, absolutely. Somebody knows something but might be scared to say anything. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Oh, yeah. It's this is awful, but if you guys haven't seen any of that video from last night, just check out like the last, I don't know, half hour of it and just see how dark it is in that neighborhood. And this is absolutely not some random thing, all these crazy theories of burglary and robbery and even the kidnapping still makes no sense. There's not a kidnapping in the United States of America that's been like this. You guys name one case besides this case. There aren't any on record. People don't go and take 84-year-old women out of a pitch black neighborhood in the middle of the night, not knowing anything about the security that's at that house. Leanne, Savannah was quoting Annie. Annie is a poet. I missed that video. I will check it out. Yeah, it was just the last moments of that video were scary, like for real scary. Country Rose with Michelle. Hello, my dear. You came in and saw my Whatnot show. You were the only person I knew, Michelle, that came into that Whatnot show where I sold nothing. But you sent a tip on that. You didn't need to do that. I was telling some other people here, like, go to my main channel page, go to my channel description, see my links, sign up for Whatnot using my code, and they'll get $15. And then you can buy something from me or maybe even from Michelle. She's got a store too, Country Roads with Michelle. Sea Cushioner, I try to catch you whenever I can. Thank you. Miss, I just don't know why someone wouldn't come forward to get the $1,000,000. Probably because they're scared for their life. Um, Dean, good evening, Miss April. Last night's live with the YouTubers and sheriffs was extremely dark and dangerous. Yes. And it reminded me of a lot of cases that I've worked in my career. I've talked about it earlier. But that part where they said, okay, now is the time that she would have been exiting the house or being removed. And then those lights started appearing. And I had seen lights in the bushes before that I don't think they could see because I was seeing it through the camera lens where the guys that were there, the last two, they were just seeing the scene with their own eyes. And your eyes can't catch things that the camera can see. Because I know that from surveillance. I'll see things on camera that I never saw with the naked eye. And I kept seeing a light like in the front of the house, like a teeny little light, almost looked like a firefly. Like, what is that little light? And then they started looking at that house and they were like, oh my God, there's a light. And I was like, okay, now I know they have to have electricity at this house because of the electrical, well, the alarm systems or the security systems that have since been installed and the pool pump. Like, I doubt that house is just sitting there with the power turned off. But how do lights turn on when there's supposedly nobody there? And were the lights, did they have any front porch lights on the day that this crime went down? Because, I mean, it was just so creepy. It was like, maybe they're trying to save a couple pennies and they've turned out all the exterior lighting. I just I think that puts the house more at risk that there's 0 lights there now, especially with the cops not parked at the end of the driveway or a private investigator or a private patrol operator doing security. That house is like it's just a sitting duck right now. Like, why were all the lights out? And then that light came on to the front. Oh my God. I'm still gonna be thinking about that tonight when I go to bed because I don't sleep well, and then I start to doze off in the middle of the night, and that's when LA just goes quiet and the building goes quiet, and I really like that quiet time, but I'm like, are my cameras working? Is my door locked? Are my windows locked? That really got to me, and I was just enjoying the humor of all of this until that last segment, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, this is someone who had intimate knowledge of the property, both the interior and the exterior. This is not just some random Yahoo, you know, and it still all adds up to me as far as who I think front porch guy is and how that person is connected to the getaway driver. And we don't know how many people were in the house. That this is an operation where there's a leader or leaders, and then there's the worker bees. But this is very well orchestrated. There's no way that this is a random thing that went down. Absolutely not after what I saw last night. Um, but I kind of already knew that by the second week. You the best, says Country Roads with Michelle. I got to go check out your Whatnot store tonight, Country Roads with Michelle. If it has a different username than your YouTube username, can you, well, you did have that same username or I wouldn't have recognized you. I will go check out your store. Um, Devin says, I can't think of one. I've worked at some old folks' homes. Nobody thinks of them. So sad. As far as a kidnapping, like there's 300 and some kidnappings in the U.S. total for the past year, and most of them involve children. They don't involve 84-year-old women that are living in some highfalutin neighborhood. This is not right. This is all targeted. VMS. And also one night on a live, we saw the blinds open and they were closed about an hour later. Oh my God. See, someone came in here a couple days ago and said that there's a woman that's working in the house, but I don't see a car there. I don't see a car there, and I don't see any exterior lighting. Somebody would have to be coming and going. Somebody would have to be getting groceries or getting food delivered. You know, it's just, you couldn't pay me to stay in that house and babysit that house at this point. A neighbor said after the Nancy Guthrie incident, there are a lot of weirdos who live close to the Nancy Guthrie house. I think so. C. Kushner, my first name is Cheryl. Good to know that. I don't see this case going away. No, I've got people writing me from all over the world on this case. This isn't just big in the United States. This is big all over the world. Uh, you had to work at 8 and I was up watching that. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning here by the time, well, they finished at 2:30, but my video was several minutes behind. So mine went a little longer than that. And then I had to get up and, check all the locks again. And then the bunny was like, hey, I want an early breakfast. And, I had to take care of everybody and then finally get settled. Bemis, yeah, it made me really know that this person knew everything about that house. Absolutely, they knew. And I've said this from the beginning, like, this is either the Savannah factor or somebody close to her. But last night, after seeing how dark it really was, even though last night wasn't full moon, it was like, there's that 70 some percent to 92% that it's somebody close. Like, oh my God. And I don't care who it is, family, not family, whoever it is, they're going to get caught and they're going to rot. You had to get up at 5 to be ready for a doctor's appointment. I had a doctor's appointment too, but it was in the afternoon. Do you truly think it is family? I can't say that. I don't know. And what I do know, I can't say. Sandy Greer, another Sandy. My favorite teacher as a child was a Greer. Where are you from, Sandy Greer? If you don't mind me asking, at least tell me what state or what part of the country. Country Rose, I was watching the JLR telecast. But I just saw the last few hours. I figured I would give everyone my first name because it's just C before my last name. Okay, Cheryl. Emerald Eyes, good evening. I think the lackadaisical environment was because the kids and the mother grew up in that home. It was a safe neighborhood and nothing had ever happened. Exactly. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better, Emerald Eyes. I'll read it again. Good evening. I think the lackadaisical environment was because the kids and the mother grew up in that home. It was a safe neighborhood and nothing had ever happened. Yes, she had lived there since 1975 and nothing bad had ever happened. Joyce G, I wonder if they are going back tonight. I think they were going to go out there in the daytime, but I'm busy in the day. Devin, old people don't get kidnapped. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Nothing. And kidnappers don't send ransom notes to TMZ. They leave the ransom at the scene of the crime or they get it to the family within the first 24 to 48 hours. And they keep the person alive to show proof of life. Oh, that was before my time. Brian Ray. If you know your history, the Lindbergh baby kidnapping was a weird case. The kidnapping of Charles Lindbergh. Yeah, that's long before my time. But I mean, I've heard of the case, but I don't know the details. Emerald Eyes, I asked him to comment of one of your other videos, but how is Zach and Luke connected to Annie and Tommaso? Uh, you need to see the suspect video to see the connections. We've talked about this before, the 6 degrees of separation. The 6 degrees of separation isn't so far as 6 degrees. See the suspect video. VMS. I don't think there's a woman there. Too many nosy streamers there all the time. They would have seen. Oh, you mean staying in the house? I don't believe that either, VMS. That's a very good point. They said that was people have come on here and said, hey, Tommaso was just arrested and taken away in handcuffs today. Somebody just read that Annie has her buried in her backyard. Like, don't believe everything you hear. And then people were telling this lady I watch on Facebook is talking about Clay Crouch. Well, he was in prison at the time. We went over all the paperwork yesterday. So there's some sketch people that live in the neighborhood. Dean says, I worked private security for a car dealer and they had all lights and locks on timers. We would look at videos and see unusual dancing lights and strobe lights. Yeah, but this light wasn't like there was a light that's, there has been a lot of electrical guys there and there's more stuff there than there was before, but they don't even have lights on near the front door. And this was like a small light that was moving and then it would go out. It wasn't like a light that was on a timer and somebody's lamp came on. It wasn't that kind of light. It was like an orb. It was creepy. And I saw a light out in the bushes before that happened. It was creepy. It wasn't like a lamp on a timer or an overhead light on a timer. It wasn't that type of thing. It was intermittent. But right during the time that she would have been taken. Oh, oh. But that's a good point, Dean. But, if they got things on timers, why wouldn't they have the lights on out in front of the house? The value of Nancy's home plummeted following Nancy's abduction. Maybe, maybe not. Cali Girl on Fire. The woman's security is at Annie's. A door-to-door salesman was filmed by Alex and told him the story. Yeah, that Alex person, whoever that is, was leaving around the time that I started watching when this handicapped woman was getting a ticket. How many times have you ever been to that neighborhood? None. But we have a channel subscriber here who actually lives in that neighborhood and has lived there for decades and knows Savannah Guthrie. So she was able to give me a lot of insight about how this neighborhood is a giant maze and that, you can't see a few feet in front of you at night. Hey, Patrick, didn't realize that neighborhood is like a bowl of spaghetti. You 100% had to be from the area to navigate the streets and the terrain. Exactly. That's what our friend, a simple kind of gal, explained to me. Did they find her? No, Patrick. The Mrs. Cali Girl is the speaker. Nobody is at the actual houses. Yeah, that would just be another expense for Tommaso, wouldn't it be, over at their house? I'd still like to know if it's true that he hasn't worked all year, even before this happened. Um, Someone answered the door at Andy's and said, "Keep on knocking." See Criminal Network. Okay. Don't know about that. VMIS. No, it's the speaker they spoke to. Okay. Luke and Tommaso were in the same band. I didn't know that Luke was in a band. I know that Dominic was in the same band with Tommaso. Dominic Evans. Anakin. Hello. Now I know Luke knows Kayla, and Kayla knows Mojito, and Mojito is the promoter of both Derek Kalela's band, The Secret Mutilator, and Tommaso's band, Tommaso and Dominic's band, Early Dark. And they performed in some of the same clubs, and they're connected to the guy that has the S fetish balls. Like I said, see the 6 Degrees of Separation lives and see the suspect video. Bemis, yeah, people lie so much. Yep. Oh, I watched it live, but I guess she could have lied. Yeah, there's no evidence to me that somebody's living in that house. Devin Davis, have the police said how many people had been put on a lie detector? No, they haven't. But there was a rumor that the family passed, and guess what? That's BS because there is no pass fail on a lie detector. You're either deceptive or it's considered inconclusive. So if there is no this person passed. Doesn't work that way. So as soon as I heard that BS, I was like, well, that's not even true. Kathy Mowry, I really have learned from you, April. Thank you. I've learned a lot about YouTube just from people here coming and helping me during these lives. Hey, Texas Diane. Yes, VMS5 said this was like a low flashlight moving. That's what I thought. Not like a lamp. But the light I saw in the bushes was like a firefly. And it might have just been something that the camera picked up, but it kept. And this was right before the thing happened inside the house. I'm getting goose pimples now, and I've got the ring light. It's still sunny. I'm in Los Angeles. I got all kinds of neighbors around me for safety. This place is more armed than Fort Knox, and I'm getting creeped out as I'm thinking about what I saw last night. And there's no way that was faked. Um, Something was going on at that house last night at the time that Nancy Guthrie disappeared. Like, I can't explain it. I don't know if it was paranormal, but something was going down. And you could just hear it in the voices of the two YouTubers that were left, like, oh my God, when is it 2:30? How soon is our ride coming? Like, do we run for the hills? Do we just bail now? Um, yeah, someone did describe it like an orb, but I thought of it more like a small, um, like, well, it's kind of hard to see because of the green screen, but I was thinking a light, like this. Yeah, I haven't heard of Luke being in the band with Tommaso. Dominic Evans, the drummer, is in the band with Tommaso. It's his close friend. How far from town was Nancy Guthrie's place? It's in the Catalina foothills, but unlike LA, that's an hour from LA, One side of Tucson is 20 minutes from the other side of Tucson. And Mojito would have everybody's phone numbers, in my opinion, of course. Watch my video, everybody. Watch this whole Nancy Guthrie playlist or my true crime playlist and watch the suspect video. Kathy, anyone that hasn't subscribed, and smash that like button. Thank you, ma'am. We only need 100 more subscribers for a goal of 3,000 subscribers. That's true. And yesterday it went up quite a bit, but then it went down a couple notches and it would go up a few notches and it was going, my metric was going crazy, going back and forth because when it's right on the cusp, it used to go off per every one, but now it only goes off per every 10 once it hits 1,000. And that thing was going off all night long. Because it was hovering around 2,900 all day yesterday. Then it would go down a notch, and I'd hear the thunder and lightning, like, ooh, what was that? And then it would go up a notch, and it would hit 2,900 or 2,901, and it would go ding ding. And this was going on all night long. Now I'm sitting at, I think it's pretty low actually, considering yesterday I hit 2,900. I'm only sitting at 2,907. So I got to get 93 subs, like now. Everybody, if you're not subscribed, please do me a favor and subscribe. If the police could have another shot from the beginning, what should they have done? No brainer. Secure the crime scene. Secure the crime scene. Did you hear me? Secure the crime scene. So much evidence trampled on, especially in the front of that house. I knew what you meant, Kathy. Seal the crime scene. Oh, you said it too, Kathy. I didn't even see that. See, you're starting to think like a detective now, too. Saved by grace. Sounds disturbing. Yes, it was very the crime was disturbing, and what I saw last night between 2 and 2:30 in the morning was extraordinarily disturbing. And there's no way they could have faked that because they would have had to have somebody they knew on the property inside that house. And nobody could touch that property. Nobody trespassed. Something weird happened in that house last night. It was almost like Nancy was there in spirit. Nancy, we're trying to find you. We love you, Nancy. I'm going to do everything in my power until I take my last breath. I will do everything in my power to keep this story alive. I'm sorry I couldn't have been there, Nancy, to save you the night that this happened to you. Because I would have. Saved by Grace says, I'm from Oracle, Arizona. What a saga. Thank you, Cheryl. She said she subscribed. Cali Girl on Fire for Nancy, bring her home. Absolutely. No, they didn't do it. They unsecured the scene in 20 to 30 hours, Devin, long before the FBI was even allowed to show up. It was so bad. No, Devin, front rug with blood was not even picked up for over a month. Yeah, the security camera, or not security camera, but the Nest camera, the doorbell camera, which was basically nothing more than a doorbell. They didn't even take the holder, the frame. And then the pizza man and the Amazon guy and even Brian Inton had marched up to that porch, and I love Brian, but even he was on the property. Everybody was up there taking pictures and taking video of the blood, and there was tracks in the front lawn, and somebody was stepping in them, and the blood was still there, and oh boy, the plants that the front porch guy picked up, it was still scattered with Survival Empire. Hello, rational reviews. Emerald. Can you hire yourself pro bono to be able to use your connections to research and investigate? I am not licensed in Arizona. I have been licensed at times in Arizona, but never ended up using that license because I'm licensed in California. So I can't cross state lines, and I'm mostly retired, but yeah, I cannot cross state lines. Now, if Savannah wants to contact me and she wants to consult with me, You go for it, Savannah. Somebody send me an email at aprildavispi@gmail.com, and then I either want to see her in person or I want to see her on a Zoom or a FaceTime where I know I'm talking to Savannah. Because if somebody calls and says, "Hey, this is Savannah," I won't believe it until I can see her face. And I will, if you're going to do that, let me know in advance so I can prepare the whole list of everything that I would ask you as a PI. Good question, Joyce G. I want to know so bad. I wonder what Tommaso and Annie took out in boxes from Nancy's house. I want to know as well. Yeah, Kathy says, hi, Joyce. Everyone does. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know why it's asking me to do this. Let's close this out. I'm trying to close the screen. Oh, no, I'm not trying to start another gift goal. Just trying to get rid of that little message that says start a goal. Um, yeah. Yeah, I get to make this short because I've spent the time at the doctor today and I had to go to the box today and pick up the birthday mail still coming in for my alternate identity, I guess. Oh my God. And if you're here, United Portland, or you see this on a replay, yes, sir, I know your birthday is coming up on May 25th. You might want to be checking your mailbox next week. Just saying. Elizabeth, hi, April. This case is as baffling as that of Little Summer Wells. You know what? I'm sorry, Elizabeth, I'm not familiar with the Summer Wells case. Yeah, this is, well, it is and it isn't. Because if it's like I think it is, then it's not baffling at all. If anybody from the FBI is listening to me, please call me. You have my number. I called the hotline twice. Please call me back. I'll meet you in person at my house and we will talk about why I think Front Porch Guy is who I think he is and how he's connected through the 6 degrees of separation of these yahoos in this case. No politics. Sorry, no politics. Night, April, and all. Thank you for today's live. Well, thank you for coming, Kathy, and thank you for the super chat. I think you sent 2 of them, didn't you? Thank you so much. And thank you for those that sent the jewels. Thank you, everybody. And if you're still here, Sassy Granny, I'm going to connect my replacement AirTag to my keychain tonight because I'm always losing my keys. Cali Girl on Fire. Yes, thank you. I love your work. Thank you so much. Emerald Eyes, we're on the same page about Front Porch Guy. He's literally flown the coop. Maybe. Flow State. What is that? I've never seen that one. Suzanne sent Flow State. You know which one I haven't seen in a while, and I don't think it's up there because I've read that jewels that they change them pretty regularly. They add some, they change some are temporary, but I haven't seen the kaleidoscope eyes. Yeah, that's like one of the best. I have not seen Flow State. Thank you. That was cool. And it put the little purple box down at the bottom. Can you guys see that on your end? Let me go over to what's on the computer. Oh, I guess you can't. Yeah, you can see. Oh, you can see it at the top. If I look on live chat on my desktop, I see like the start of the train at the top. And on the vertical live on the cell screen, I see it at the bottom. Oh, it just disappeared. I tapped on the gift box. Did you see the little purple train? Yeah, sometimes people do super chat trains or they do jewel trains. Those are cool. Dean says, yes, I see it. That was a cool one. Hey, Joyce sent the floating heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, all those penny jewels actually add up. They do. They make a difference. And it helps tell YouTube, like when you guys subscribe or you hit the thumbs up or you send the red hearts or the smiley faces across the screen or you just communicate in the chat and just watch, it all helps boost the algorithm. Kathy said, I will just be here. I will be here till she is done. I just wanted for her to tell thank you. Thank you. Oh, I should say you're welcome. Thank you for the red hearts. So, how many of you, if you didn't see the beginning of this, how many of you did see that live last night in front of Nancy's house where the YouTubers went out? Apparently, it was a group of like 7 or 8, but by the time I got there, like there was only 4 or 5, and they were in the process. Most of them were leaving. Yeah, you saw it, Bobby. Did you see the end with the that light that was coming through the windows that was intermittent? That was creepy. You watched all of it from start to finish. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't come in until that lady Juanita was getting the ticket. And I'm surprised they didn't arrest her, you know what, because she just kept arguing and arguing. She should have just said, "Thank you, officer, and I'm moving my car right now." You didn't notice the light. Oh my God. And at the timing, because they had just said this is when Nancy would have been taken because they knew what time the heart pacemaker had unsynced. So she would have been being removed from the property right now. And then the lights started. And then I kept thinking, like, if they've got electricity running at that house because of all the security that's been installed supposedly since this happened, how come they don't have any exterior lights on? Like, that's creepy. Did they replace the strobe light in the back that got busted? Have they replaced the cameras that got busted in the back and the side? Do they have any lights or lamps or, it just seems so grim. You should always have lights on, even when nobody's home. There should be exterior lighting, especially now with what's happened at that house. That place should be lit up at night. It shouldn't be sitting there in the pitch blackness. I watched the juice for a bit. Ted and Alex gives me the creeps. I didn't see Alex was leaving, so I don't know who that is. And I wasn't impressed with the guy Ted. I had never seen him before. I wasn't impressed at all. And JLR kept telling him to watch his language, but it didn't help. And JLR was worried that he was going to get demonetized for the evening. I thought, that was kind of not a nice thing to do. Um, I have unsubscribed to JLR. Yeah, I'm not subscribed to him at all because it got too griffy. Yeah, I have a hard time with people that have committed crimes, even though he may be reformed. I have a hard time with people that are professional claimants or plaintiffs. Um, because of what I do for a living, I have a very hard time with that. Um, yeah, I'm not subscribed to any of those people actually. But I do watch a few clips here and there. But last night I watched probably more than I've ever watched because I wanted to see if it was like the lady that comes into this channel who lives in that neighborhood, like she told me how dark it is, and she was right. And we were seeing it brighter than it actually is because we were seeing through a camera lens rather than just through their eyes. And they at times were standing right next to each other and would turn off their lights and they couldn't see anything. Joyce said she stayed up till 4 o'clock. Timeout. Um, you were asleep at 10. Oh, that would be nice. Oh, just watched the very end of it, and yeah, I'm still creeped out by it. What was it? Something supernatural? Was it something paranormal? There was nobody in that house. I'm telling you, there's nobody in that house, and it wasn't like a light on a timer. It was like somebody was sending a signal, you know, like from another dimension. I mean, it was just, wow. Just when I think I've seen it all as a detective, then I see something and I go, well, I guess I haven't seen it all because now this just happened. And there's no way that that was staged. There was nobody in that house that was like, you know what, we're gonna stand in this house at the same time that she was taken, and we're gonna mess with this guy. Like, no, there's no way that they could have faked that. That was live. That wasn't something edited or put in after the fact. No. Um, Bobby says I've never seen proof of the paranormal. I don't know what it was, but it was creepy, and it's just this is awful. I mean, I don't know how much more I can say how bad this situation is. Yeah, VMIS, you're right. No, the timing was perfect. Did they fix the back door? I don't know, Kathy. We still don't know if there was a forced entry or not because, remember nanos, bananas, nanods, nonads, whatever you want to call them. He keeps changing the timelines around and was it forced or not forced? Is there blood in the house? Is there not blood in the house? Nobody's clear. These people are clear. I can't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. He says that they're close. I hope that he's telling the truth this time, but he may just be trying to save his own hide at this point. I think if we're relying on this single DNA uh, evidence or we're relying on a rootless hair strand, we don't have much. Yeah, it was beyond creepy what happened at that house last night. But it did prove a point. It did prove to me what a simple kind of gal who has come into this chat before, who is a resident of the Catalina foothills, said to me about this neighborhood, about how it is pitch black. And it was a full moon that night. And, Front Porch Guy did have the bite light the second time he was filmed there. But someone had to have intimate knowledge of the property, both inside and out. Nobody would have ever attempted to hit a house like that without intimate knowledge of everything in and out of that house. Bobby says, similar to many serious, terrible cases, they've said they rely on tips from the public, and a lot of times gone by already maybe too late and left as a cold case. I know. If it is a cold case, FBI, please call April Davis PI. Let me explain why I'm saying what I'm saying and how we could easily either rule this guy in or we could quickly eliminate him. Yeah, it's this is awful. Wow, 50 people. I hate to leave when there's 50 people watching, but if there's anything you guys want to say, anything you want to throw out the chat before I go off the air. Had a long day, medical day, but I had a great day going to the mailbox. Thank you once again to Sassy Granny, and thank you to Kathleen. Here's another K in San Pedro. Yeah, 50 people. Too bad you didn't know a personal agent. What does that mean? A personal agent to who? Oh, you mean in the FBI? I've actually worked with quite a few people that are in the FBI, but they are retired. Yeah, I've worked with several actually, but through PI work. In the video, you're talking about how do I see it? Oh, just go to the main channel page and go to the video tab. I'm doing a lot more than just live videos on Nancy Guthrie. I probably have, over 500 videos on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Sassy Granny. I didn't know you were still here. A little something to put a smile on your face. Well, you did. Do you think removing the Nest camera was Porch Guy's only job? No, not at all. Herschenful says hello. Well, hello to you. Yeah, if you guys are just coming in, you may want to watch the playback. Please see the suspect video. If you've seen it before but you didn't see it lately, go see it again. Go see the suspect video. You're from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia Freedom. That was my childhood theme song because my bestie from California, who I met in Alabama, moved to New Jersey, and I would fly into Philly frequently. Then we moved back to the East Coast, and I would drive there all the time. I spent a lot of years in Philly, and I can still hear Elton John now singing Philadelphia Freedom. Um, Devin says, excellent. Thank you. From one Davis to another. Yeah, I don't know if we're related. Go put your DNA into 23andMe or Ancestry.com and we'll see. Good night. Stay safe and keep praying for Nancy. Absolutely. Emerald Eyes, if you have a retired FBI agent friend, maybe give them a call and they could hook you up with someone who is current. Yeah, I'm not going to bother them. I have a couple actually. I handle some of the celebrity things that they don't want to handle. So, yeah, for years I've worked with FBI agents. I've had a Secret Service agent that's actually worked for me, and I've worked with DOD and CIA, military, in the PI business. Work with everybody over the years. Used to love that song. I know, Philadelphia Freedom. It sure looks different now, I bet, since I've been there. If you're new and haven't subscribed, please do. Yes, I'm trying to hit 3,000, and where are we now? I'm at 2909. Wow, that's good. I am 91 subscribers away from 3,000, everybody. And my goal is to hit it before the end of the month. I wanted to hit it by Memorial Day, but Memorial Day is a little early this year. And then I'm going to have a 3,000K like live stream party. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm going to come on and say, woo, and everybody come. Uh, and I never thought I'd be saying that we're like 91 subscribers away from 3,000. Like, that's crazy. It's a small YouTube channel, but for me, it means the world. But the majority of the people that are actually watching me are not subscribed at all. So if all those people that actually watch would subscribe, then my channel subscription count would go up really quickly. Because there's at least, 65% of you that watch that are not subscribed at all. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, and if anybody wants to use their free hypes, that's something new since I got remonetized. You can hype videos for free for the first 7 days of a video. Because some people have come in and said, "Oh, I tried to hype your suspect video." Well, that suspect video is a month old. Yeah, thanks a lot, Herschenful. I appreciate the shares. Yeah, I had people last week came in and said they found me through a News Nation video. The comments, hey, Tame, is it? Sent a sunshine. Thank you. And TAKW2429 sent a high five. And we've got a little, I can see it on the phone. Let me look on the desktop. Oh, we have a jewel train going right now. So if you guys want to send the freebies, you don't need to pay for them. Keep sending them over. Liking and sharing is also free. Absolutely. And especially just like go to my playlist. I have something on my channel for everybody. I started my channel in December 2020 after I had initially survived stage 3, grade 3 breast cancer. And I just wanted to document my life. It wasn't about cancer, but it was like documenting my life. And then it started to head more towards a newsy channel. And then this happened and people are liking the true crime. but it's not specifically just a true crime channel. Hey, A to C. So thank you for sending those jewels. I know they're like pennies worth, but all those pennies add up. They really do. It's going to make my first check that should be coming in another 3 days. Oh my God. Should make that first check um, substantially bigger. Of course, these jewels would go to my June check. Kathy, animals, health updates, and the winner is true crime. Yep, a lot of people are here for that. And I'm so sad that something like this had to happen for me to come on the air and meet all you guys. I wish it was through better circumstances. I would trade it all back just to have Nancy still with us. We're never going to forget you, Nancy, and I'm never going to stop fighting for you. And Savannah, if you ever see any of these videos, please contact me. I'm a licensed private investigator in Los Angeles, and I would love to just have a nice chat with you. Oh, thank you for the emojis, Jay and Cali Girl on Fire. Those are cute, some of those new emojis. Yeah, and if you're a member of the channel, you can use like some of the personalized emojis. Celebrating almost 3K in 2 months. Yeah, well, I've been on since December 2020 though. It took until 2024 just to hit 1,000, and then it was all messed up. But yeah, since I started this, it's been going up quickly. Jason E. Minor. Oh my gosh, welcome, Jason. Everybody say hi to Jason. He is one of my buddies in the gold prospecting community. Oh my gosh. Jason, I need to get some pay dirt bad. Oh my gosh. I got to figure out who I'm going to get some pay dirt from. I need something simple. Uh hey, thank you for the sun balloon. Appreciate that. That's a pretty one. How's it going, Jason? I was talking about your reinstatement. Oh, okay. Yeah, since the remonetization. Yeah, it's gone from like 2K to almost 3K really quickly. Where am I at right this second? Somebody sent me, a channel member sent me this selfie stick and this very good, like short tripod. It does go tall, but I needed it to be short, and this is like it's like a combo 3-in-1 type of piece of equipment, and it blocks my screen. But I'm at 2909, and then let me refresh the chat. Yeah, celebrating almost 3K in 2 months. Minus 20 mesh. Oof, I got challenging gold right now. Hey, I've got the doobie vial and the skull still, but I already did the dirt, and that was hard for me. I mean, I'm not like a newbie, but I'm not that experienced. That was tough. That was like stressing me out. I was throwing myself a few not choice words. Uh, yeah, I'd have to be a lot better than I am to be able to get all of that cleaned out. And then when I joined it with my other gold, I think I tainted some of it. Like, I'm sure I lost a lot of it too. Dang, what I got is even harder. Hopefully, I will get bigger gold soon. Oh my God. But you got cool merch, Jason. And for the experts, like somebody like Troubled One, he would be really good at your gold because he's like kind of an expert. Or maybe send it to like GP and Mama Bird. But yeah, you got good stuff like Alaskan Assassin. But I don't think he makes gold. Does he make gold, or does he just send the stickers to everybody? The logos and stuff. Yeah, he made a really good logo for me. Everybody seems to like it, so I printed up some stickers with it. Yeah, I'm dying to do some pay dirt. I'm itching for pay dirt. But I've been too busy, like, talking about Miss Nancy and doing all these videos and doing the back end for YouTube, and her buys pay dirt and makes Legos. Hey, buys pay dirt and makes logos. He made my logos. Oh, okay. He buys. Okay. So you're talking about Alaskan. Okay. Yeah, he's really good at that. Like his merch is really good. He sent me quite a bit of stuff. I even ordered a hat from him once. I really like it. Yeah, he buys pay dirt. I figured it out eventually. It's been a long day. Emerald Eyes. I encourage you to call one of your old contacts because I imagine they would think it was a bother if you had pertinent information to help solve this case. It's an idea. Or maybe they already know what I know. Oh, thank you for the red roses. A full dozen, says Kathy. That's my favorite is red roses. Autocorrect, I swear. I get it, Jason. No, I'm so glad to see you here. Yeah, I'm already like past the 2 hour point. I was only going to go 30 minutes today. Hey, Jason sent a sunshine. Thank you, Jason. Wow, the jewels are starting out. I've got more jewels today than I've got super chats. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I've got $3 in super chats and I've got 608 jewels, which would translate to $6.08. Wow, that's awesome. Everybody, thank you. Yeah, and I've seen some new ones today that I haven't seen before. And I think my favorite one, I don't see it around anymore. The kaleidoscope eyes. And several people sent me the Mother's Day one. And my pets, my fur babies, they thank you to all that sent the Mother's Day jewels. Great room today. Yeah, it's been awesome. And I just wanted to talk about what I saw last night and how not that I wasn't 100% convinced already about what I've already said, but now I'm 1,000 convinced about everything I've been saying on this case. Just now that I got to see the absolute darkness, and that was just seeing through a camera eye. So if I'd been there in person, it would have been even darker than what I saw on camera. But I was genuinely a little freaked out, I have to admit, when the lights started coming on in that house, and it wasn't the lamps. Um, there's no way I can explain to you, my audience, what I saw last night in that house. I'm going to be thinking about that for a long time, especially when I turn out the lights tonight. I'm going to be thinking about that. Uh, do I have kids? I have fur babies. I do have my sponsor family though from Thailand, and I have like a grown up sponsor daughter and son. They're both grown up, but they're not my bio kids. But they're the closest thing I got. Yeah, you can see the fur babies on the channel. Just go click the animal. Is it pets or animals? One of the playlists. So yeah, I've really got nothing more to say here. If anybody wants to say anything, send it to me now. I'm gonna go prepare something to eat. I didn't even really have a good breakfast this morning because I had to go to that doctor's appointment and I didn't have lunch. And I'm gonna make probably a turkey burger. I know I say that a lot. I'm just like I'm so burned out on the chicken and I can't eat the meat since the cancer, and then I had to eat the chicken because of the bones. And now I'm like I'm so tired of that. So I've been munching down on some turkey burgers so I can feel like I'm eating a cheeseburger, even though I can't have a cheeseburger. It's so sad because one of the biggest In-N-Out burgers in LA is like a mile from my house, and I just can't eat it. It's like I'm so sad. But turkey burgers are pretty good. I just close my eyes and pretend it's like a cheeseburger. Now if I could just have some In-N-Out, like, fries and a milkshake to go with it, you know? But I can't have a lot of sugar either. But they do have root beer, but they don't have diet, so, yeah, I'm pretty limited on my food choices now. And I saw the doctor today who removed my kidney stone, and, even though the X-rays came out clear, the hospital CAT scan did not, and there's still a little teeny tiny chunk that's embedded in there. And if I don't drink, he said, at least 4 of the tall water bottles per day, that thing is gonna grow, and I'm gonna have to start having regular X-rays. And I'm like, "Again? The X-rays didn't even show it. It's a waste of time." But I can't have a CAT scan every 30 days or 90 days. I'm just shocked that I'm gonna have to go in again in August to see if it's grown. Like, send me to the ultrasound, don't send me to the X-ray. Oh my god, there's so much stuff that has to be monitored. And then next month will be all the cardiology appointments. But the good news today is when I was in the guy's office that did my kidney surgery, all my cardiac numbers in that office came out good. And I'm like, "Is your equipment broken?" Like, I'm in a doctor's office. I have white coat syndrome. How can all these numbers be that perfect? You are Android here. Uh, Homemade turkey patties with mixed veggies. Delish. Ooh, that sounds good. I haven't had a milkshake in years, but I so badly want to go to In-N-Out, get like a strawberry shake, a small fries, and a cheeseburger with mustard and grilled onions. I'd probably die after I ate it since my body has completely changed after all my cancer treatment. Oh, I don't know. If I was on my last leg and they said you're stage 4 and you're going to die, I'd probably go out and buy a half a dozen of them. Oh, hopefully I won't ever have to do that. Go get that milkshake, girl. I can't sit in that line for a half hour in that drive-through for an In-N-Out milkshake and just smell those burgers and not be able to buy one. Oh, I can't eat the LA fat burgers anymore either. Like, oh, what I would do for a fat burger or an In-N-Out. Oh my god. I see these YouTubers that I watch, especially the resellers and the ones that do the storage lockers, and they'll, like, travel to other states just to go to In-N-Out. They'll be like, "Ah, In-N-Out." And I have it, like, a mile from my house. Oh my god. Oh, I'm getting hungry because I didn't eat a lot before the doctor, and then I wanted to get the mail picked up and pick up Sassy Granny's gifts to the channel, and, then, some more of that birthday mail came in, even though my birthday was, like, a month ago, but thank you again. And, then we just got talking about everything. But, yeah, for those that saw that video last night and you stayed up till, well, it was 2:30 my time, would be 5:30 in the morning East Coast time. That was creepy as F. That's all I can say. Creepy AF is a better way of putting it. I can't explain what I saw last night at that house at all. But it did raise questions for me, like, did they have more lighting on at the time that she actually still lived there? I would like to know that. Um, Bobby says you just put on 60 pounds. Oh, geez. Kathy was upset because she gained too. Yeah, I need to take off about 30. It's all this medication. Not very mobile anymore. But thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for those that sent the jewels. And it's nice to see you, my friend Jason E. Miner of Golden Skull Prospecting. Gosh, we have a celebrity in here. Oh, he says, I can't eat onion or garlic. That's very upsetting. I can't eat garlic, or it makes me, I have had a bad stomach since age 10. And I actually have a problem with my stomach now that I've seen. They had to scope me and it's really bad, so I can't eat garlic at all. And I love, like, garlic on the pizza and stuff. Um, yeah. And onions as a child, I was like, "Oh, scrape them off. It's got onions. Gross." But I love onions now. But thank you for coming in, my friend Jason. And if you have some simpler gold, you get some larger chunks, let me know. Because I can't do that microscopic stuff. I just can't do it. Even with the little demagnetizer tool or whatever, like I can't do it. It's just too hard for my brain. Um, okay, thanks everybody for coming in. Um, let's pray for Miss Nancy, and let's wrap our loving arms around Savannah and family. Thank you so much. Love you all.